In 1883, what was meant to be a joyful children's magic show turned into one of the deadliest tragedies in British history. It happened on June 16th inside Victoria Hall in Sunderland, England. Nearly 2,000 children had packed into the theater that afternoon. They were there to watch a magician and entertainer named Mr. Fay perform tricks, illusions, and marvels from around the world. The children had been promised something special prizes. At the end of the show, the first children out the door would receive toys, small treasures, exciting rewards. And that promise changed everything. As the performance ended, the children rushed towards the main staircase leading to the exit. What they didn't know, what no one realized in time, was that the exit door at the bottom of the stairs had been bolted nearly shut. The door only opened inward, and it had been secured in such a way that could only open a few inches at a time, just enough for one child to squeeze through. The first few children made it out. The rest kept coming, hundreds of them. They were laughing, pushing, excited, until suddenly they weren't. The staircase narrowed towards the bottom as more children pressed forward. Those at the front were crushed against the door. They couldn't move forward, they couldn't fall back. And the crowd behind them kept pushing, unaware of what was happening ahead. Within minutes, the joyful rush turned into panic. Children began to suffocate. Some were trampled, others were compressed so tightly against the door and each other that they simply could not breathe. There were no adults in the stairway to control the crowd, no emergency exits, no understanding of what crowd crush even was. By the time the pressure was relieved by coworkers finally breaking through the door, it was too late. 183 children were dead. Most were between the ages of 3 and 14. The entire city of Sutherland was shattered. Parents rushed to the halls when word spread, only to find rows of small bodies laid out on the floor, identifying their children by clothes, shoes, and ribbons. Funerals filled the streets for days. The Victoria Hall disaster remains the worst civilian tragedy in British history involving children. And it happened not because of fire, not because of violence, but because of a locked door. The public outrage was immediate. An inquest revealed that the door had been secured to prevent children from sneaking in without paying. The mechanism that limited how far it could open was meant for crowd control, but it created a deadly bottleneck. There were no laws at the time requiring outward opening doors in public buildings. That changed because of Victoria Hall. The disaster led to major reform in building safety across Britain. Public venues were required to install doors that opened outward and could not be locked in ways that trapped people inside. One invention came directly from the tragedy: the push bar or crash bar, the horizontal bar you see on emergency exit doors today. Press it and the door swings open instantly. It exists because 183 children never made it home. Even today, if you visit Sutherland, you'll find a memorial in Mowbray Park, a grieving mother holding her child. A permanent reminder: the Victoria Hall disaster is often overshadowed by larger catastrophes, shipwrecks, wars, Great Fire. But this tragedy was quiet, it was preventable. And it happened in a place meant for laughter. It forces us to confront something deeply unsettling: how fragile safety can be when design fails, and how quickly a crowd can become deadly without anyone intending harm. There was no villain that day, only oversight, poor planning, and a door that should have been opened wider. And every time you push open an emergency exit with a single touch, you're witnessing the legacy of a disaster born from a magic show. For this episode, I decided to make a Black Forest cake, and as usual, it was delicious, and all I could think of was, how much kids love sweets, so this was for them today. Again, my name is Jody Breton, and this is Meals to Unalive For. If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.